Alright, let's go over the counts on QQQ and SPY here, market update on the 10th. So, I said in the previous video I'm leaning towards the higher scenario down here, and that's exactly what we got. Up 4% since that video, and it's still possible that next week we come up here and fill the gap here at 458. Here's the possibilities I'm looking at right here. I'll show them to you. I'll draw them out. So there's the first possibility. Here's a small bearish possibility. This would be A, B, C down here to back down here to 436. This would be a B wave here, back down here to 436. Or the most unlikely, and I say unlikely because it would lose the 200 DMA, is this one right here. And this one would be, those are the three possibilities I see. So two of them are actually bearish. But one's only short-term bearish. The other one would be very, very bearish. And I don't know which one's going to play out now. I was pretty sure we are going to bounce from here, but now I don't know 100%. The reason I don't know is because look at these prints. Someone put down almost 4.7 million in premium on 812 453 puts that expire on Monday. So these expire on Monday. The thing is, they did this at 451. So we don't know for sure. They could have closed those out. They probably did close them out though. That's a pretty big premium to be betting on, especially late in the day too. They did that about 3 hours left in the day, and we didn't really get a big move off the top. We got like $1 or $2. So if someone's betting big, there's gonna be a big drop on Monday. So if I were to guess, I would say this one makes a lot of sense to me. I don't think the one that we come down here and make a new low makes much sense unless there's some kind of something crazy happens, like the war or whatever with Iran and Israel. Something like that happens over the weekend. But I don't even think that would be that big of a deal as far as big drop in the market. So I think you can really look at these being the two possibilities right here. We're either going to come up here to 457, nothing's going to happen, or we're going to drop back down here to 436, which is about a 3 to 4% drop over the next, well, the next day. That'd be a big drop. So I don't know about next day, but they're betting big on it, so we'll see. Let's also look, though, at or above the ask and see they're also selling puts here. So they're selling puts too. So the people that are looking at these prints and saying they're buying above the ask, they're also selling a ton of puts. Look at this. 480, 485, 29 million, 15 million, 15 million. Like, they're selling a ton of puts. So that's one reason why I'm not really taking that print as serious as if I didn't see this kind of stuff. Seeing this and then seeing that means that they are probably expecting upside, but they're just planning on potential quick drop. So overall, I'm pretty much 50-50 on these. Even if we see a quick drop, those puts that they sold for the 16th would be fine. So we'll see what happens. Those are the scenarios on QQQ. On SPY, we've already basically hit my target. It was 537 to 541. So same thing. A, B, C, or A, B, C continuation, or we make the final low down here at 500 next week. That's probably not going to happen, though. That'd be a 6% week. Let's look at SPY now. And one other clue is maybe they're not doing the aggressive puts on SPY. So they didn't do any aggressive puts on SPY. So they did them on QQQ, but they did not do them on SPY. So likely that's somebody hedging. Unless they know like one of the stocks is going to fail, like something's going to happen with one of the companies, and it's going to tank everything. But again, selling puts. They're selling deep in the money puts here for the 16th. It was the opposite on QQQ. They're doing far out of the money. And yeah, just selling puts. Selling puts, selling puts. So the more I look at this, the more I think probably nothing's going to happen. Let's go to the VIX. So I would actually probably slightly lean to continuing the upside on the markets. The VIX came very close to filling the gap, though. Very, very close. That's another warning sign. This is kind of why I'm 50-50, because we have conflicting things going on here. We have big premium being bought for next Monday. We have the VIX almost filling the gap from a huge drop. So it is possible that we get this. So you got to be ready for the VIX to spike. With all this being said, I bought some 1018 450 puts as a hedge. My thinking is if we come up here, I can just add to those puts, and I would still make money, obviously, if it just drops from here. So a lot to take in, but I think that having some puts and having some hedges in place is definitely important, especially when we almost filled the gap here at 19. If you don't have anything right now, then I think that's a mistake, because we're at a point where we should see a bounce back too. And again, on those QQQ puts, they sold them so low here. Or no, they sold them so far in the money too. What am I saying? I was thinking they're 385 puts. Look at them again. They 385 puts? No, those are 485. So they're doing the same thing on SPY and the same thing on QQQ. So deep in the money puts, and then they're hedging, it looks like, with the 453 puts, which is completely fine. Even if it goes down, they'll lose a little bit of premium, but they're probably just trying to get assigned here. So VIX could spike next week as well. Let's go over Tesla. So Tesla, it still has a possibility of going down. It never really got a good bounce the whole week. I was expecting that 206 bounce. It never happened. So this is still in play too. I don't think this is going to happen, but it's the same thing with QQQ and SPY. It's always possible, but the reason I don't favor this is because the big bounce happened, and then we've just gotten a corrective move. So more than likely, this is going to go up too. I think that this zone should be tested next week as long as QQQ and SPY continue melting up. But you always have that conflicting VIX here. So if this were to fall, I would expect a big move lower on Tesla too. But again, you're in weekly demand. So nothing is really obvious right now. You got to have scenarios. You got to know what to look for. You do this when the market does this. You do this when the market does this, etc. So Tesla, though, so 920, 280 put, that is more than likely another deep in the money sold put. These are probably all sold puts, and the reason I say that also, you have this call at above the ask 500, 618.26. Someone thinks it's going to go up. You have another one at 190, maybe that's a hedge. Everything above the ask was big premium, and above the ask was calls. Everything that was a put was deep in the money puts. They're probably selling puts. So honestly, I'm probably going to lean towards the upside next week. Continue this up. We have too many stocks that have not hit their targets. Let's go to AMD. AMD, same pattern. Big move up. ABC move like this. It's probably going to have to finish this at some point. Maybe it comes down early in the week and then boom. Like that. So AMD, still a chance to come down, but probably going to go up eventually. I don't think it's going to fall to new lows. And then we have NVIDIA, same pattern. It has earnings in a few weeks, so probably going to should hit the 1.61 fib, which is right there at 120. We'll see though. Let's look at NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA. A lot of calls, tons of calls. The opposite of the rest of the market where they're selling puts. NVIDIA is buying a bunch of bot calls with above the ask, lots of premium. And I'm just looking to see if any of the IVs went up. Nothing sticks out to me, but tons of call buying. Those are probably calls being bought. Could be some sold calls as well, cover calls, but for the most part, don't see anything crazy. I would expect NVIDIA to keep on going higher. Remember, this invalidated the move, so we're looking for potentially, something like this and then another move down, but it ended up coming up here and invalidating that move. So NVIDIA probably going to 120. So the more I look at this, I guess I'm slightly favoring the upside early next week with a possibility of this move down here. I think I'll do more later in the weekend, maybe another video, and I'll go over more stocks. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that. Give you an idea of what I think for next week. Slightly bullish with the potential of a very sharp drop on Monday, but I don't think we're going to see new lows. So hedging a little bit is probably a good idea for the close. But if you didn't, we're probably going to be continuing to go up all the way through August, in my opinion, and then probably have a drop in September. Some conflicting stuff like the VIX has dropped all the way down to 20, pretty much filled the gap. So that's why I say that drop is still possible, but upside more likely. That's it for this video. More videos to come probably this weekend. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next video.